Our trained instructors are ready to help you make the transition towards the road. In as little as 4 weeks, you can have the skills it takes for a new career. Classes begin on the first Monday of every month, so give us a call at 541-248-3461 or look us up on the web at nwtruckingacademy.com. And make sure you let them know that you heard it right here on Northwest Dirt News.
At Tommy's Transmission, professional, reliable service is more than just our tagline. It's our way of life. We're your one-stop shop. At Tommy's, we take care of you just like family, because we live here, right here in your neighborhood. Fixing cars is what we do, but keeping you on the road and keeping your family safe is what we're about. No matter what you drive, at Tommy's Transmissions, we'll provide the security your family needs. At Tommy's Transmissions, where professional, reliable service is guaranteed. Remember, at Tommy's Transmission, home of the good guys, off of Baseline in Hillsboro, 503-746-7891. And make sure you let them know that you heard it right here on Northwest Dirt News.
The coolest station online.
Yeah, that's us.
'Cause we play
this.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7, 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Welcome back to the three hottest guys in radio. Well, they think so. Corey, Josh, and Joel, right here on Northwest Dirt News.
Welcome back. Hold on a second. Trying to figure this out. Hold on. Here, hold on a second. Well, for some reason, we sound like we're echoing, and don't know why. So we're trying to fix that right now. Hello? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so hopefully you're not echoing now. We do apologize that we are echoing again. That was the bad thing about losing my computer. That kind of did that. So yeah, you guys we're back. We're on a delay. So want to apologize for that. It sucks, but
so basically what happened was when Josh's computer crashed, we had to go download the commercials offline, and for some reason that was the result. We will have that fixed before the next show.
And try to. Very hard.
We will. Again, sorry about that, guys.
So I got a text message. We were talking about the crate versus the open motor stuff. I got from an anonymous person is that an open motor won Boone this year.
That is true. I do remember reading that.
That is correct.
So, with that said, again, yeah, it is. I mean, it's a preference between driver, team owner, whatever the case is, money. There's
a lot of sides to that discussion, and I think Josh and I, we're both very strong opinionated in different directions. And, what it comes down to really is what Josh said. It's a driver preference, team owner preference. Sponsors can play into it. It really is dependent upon each individual driver's program. That's what kind of motor they're going to run. That's part of their, I'll call it their setup package.
I actually got a phone call coming in from, I believe it's Mr. Miller. Let's put it here on our call-in line. Mr. Kenny Miller, are you there?
What are you doing?
Well, we're on Northwest Dirt News.
What are you doing, Kenny?
We're talking some smack, of course.
I am busting up, man.
Now, so
our one listener, and he thinks we're funny. I love it.
Well, he thinks I'm funny. No, so when it comes down to what we were talking about is, again, I mean, people can say I'm biased because we go way back, and when it comes down to it, though, you are an open motor type guy, correct?
Correct.
And if you had the opportunity, and we talked about this a little bit before, is that for the longest time you had the very strong feeling of open. But because of what's happening and stuff through the racing and all that type of stuff, would you be willing to go to a crate? last year you had that in mind that if you were offered a crate motor, that you would go to a crate program, correct?
If one was given to me, I might attempt it. But like a good friend of mine told me, talent is hard to beat, but talent with crate is almost impossible to beat.
Okay, elaborate a little bit on that.
Well, everybody else with any other chassis, you got to do your homework. Weinbarger he's done his homework well with his crate motor, got his program dialed in well. There's other guys that have crate motors that struggle. You got to do your homework, no matter if you're going to run an open motor or you're on a crate motor.
Right, and that all goes down to, like what Joel was saying, you start from the tires and you work your way on up and everything, a chassis. And we struggled a couple years with the older car. We found out later on that it was bent. Went from a car that you had for a couple years, was very, very fast, practically won 3/4 of the races and stuff that we were in. Went to a newer car that we thought was going to be a little bit better and struggled for a couple of years. Now you got this brand new 2016 TRE, and it was just a learning process to have the new car, the new adjustment mounts, all that. Once you found that out, man, you were dead fast, and it all started about mid-season or so when you won the 1,000 to win the Dancing Bear Topless 100.
Yeah, I did a lot of homework, and I know a lot of people that that helped me dial this car in. So that I'm not going to mention their names, but they're pretty fast people. But I don't know everybody's name there. I think his name was Warren. A GRT, a TRE, a Shaw. To me, a chassis is a chassis is a chassis.
That is true. And
I think you could put any good driver in any car, and they'll make it go fast.
Regardless what type of motor.
I don't care. Right. Terry Phillips won the Dueling Desert in a Razor. Danny Daniels now owns that car. I believe it had an open motor in it at the time. It was about 5 years ago, I think. Somewhere in that time.
I believe you're right and stuff, but you're talking about via text message stuff that Danny Daniel now owns that car.
Yep.
Is he going to be racing next season?
No, he's had that car for a couple of years. He rented it the next year after he bought it.
Oh, okay. So let's talk a little bit about your upcoming schedule. Your schedule basically going down to California.
Yeah, we're going to go down, run the old Rocky Hill again.
So we were talking to our listeners and everything else, and we're going to put it up on Moxie, is that you're looking for a little bit of extra sponsor money just to go down there, help pay for some fuel and some hotel costs and everything. You're not looking for, a ton of money budget, but you are looking for some help. Let's talk about your career down in California. What takes you back down there to run with those guys?
I started racing back there, 1985. Started running modifieds in 1996, and I pretty much raced almost every racetrack in California, Oregon, almost every track in Washington, clear back to Lone Star Speedway in Texas. So I've gotten around a little bit in the modified division.
So let's talk about why are you going back to Rocky Hill? Is it just because you have that edge?
Where I grew up. That's all my friends are down there.
So let's talk about how competitive and stuff you're going to be. So if somebody is out there in the radio land and says, hey, I heard about this guy, or I know this Kenny Miller guy, we want to help. What is your focus down there? What's your expectations when you go down there?
I'm not going down there to set the world on fire at all. I don't think I'm one of the greatest drivers in the world. I think I'm pretty competitive, but to win would be nice. To have a 6-foot-tall trophy, what the hell am I going to do with it?
You're going to put it in that front living room, and you're going to keep Cody your dog. You're going to keep Cody your dog away from it.
That's your new Christmas tree, Kenny.
One of the things about that too.
I'll put it down there in front of the Moxie studio. How's that?
That would be badass.
So one of the things about that too is Rocky Hill was actually shut down for, I want to say, 12 years. There was no events there, and so
the track did shut down.
So Sonny Sells, somebody you're very familiar with, got a hold of the track, and what they've done over the last couple of years of that track has just been amazing.
It's been fantastic.
Complete renovation.
Well, if you've never been down there and stuff too, is if you're looking out from the main drag, and you're looking out over the grandstands, there's a huge hill. It's basically of rocks behind the main grandstands.
Yep. That's how they got their name.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's kind of just on the outskirts of town. But I looked at that and everything else, and it seems like a pretty cool track. So let's talk about kind of what you want to do. We're on a time crunch and stuff to get back to some of our other stuff, but let's talk about what actually takes you down there, and then what are you expecting to come back with?
I talked to my wife, about going down there possibly, and she said, let's go. So we started putting some things together, and I've gotten a couple people that jumped on board to help me get down there. I got some friends down there that's already paid for my entry fee, which is pretty cool. We're just going to go down there and have a good time. Hopefully we don't wreck the car and come back with a big old trophy.
Well, with that forward progress and stuff that you ended the season there at Sunset Speedway, Kenny, if you go down there, of course you're going to go down there. It'd be nice to have a little bit of extra help. Again, we'll post that on Moxie Media after Northwest Dirt News here. If you guys are willing to help, get on Kenny Miller's Facebook page at Kenny Miller, Facebook. Talk to us. We'll get you in touch with him to get a little bit of extra money. With that said, Kenny, I appreciate you calling Northwest Dirt News. It's always a pleasure to have you. I mean, you're always a loyal listener. And from there, we hope we can help you out and get you on your way down to California.
We'll do what we can for you, Kenny.
I appreciate every little bit I can. I can get. That's great. You take it easy on Warren. I think he knows more about a chassis than you do, though.
Well, no, it's not. It's not Warren. Warren's just our pit consultant. It's actually Joel Whitescreen, our Asian correspondent over here. He doesn't he doesn't see very well, but I mean he actually knows.
Warren knows a lot about the asphalt cars. I'll give him that.
Warren was friends with some people that I know that we'll talk off air about, Kenny. But with that said, Kenny, thank you so much for calling in. We're gonna get back to some breaking news that just came into the Moxie studios just right after commercials. So stick tuned, stick with us and stuff like that. But ladies and gentlemen, go to our Facebook page, go to Moxie Media. After the show, we'll have all the links and stuff to Kenny to help him out to get to California. And again, Kenny, thank you so much for calling in, bud.
No problem, anytime.
Thanks, buddy.
Just take it easy.
Love that dude. Love that dude. He is just it's so funny because because I've known him for quite a while and everything else, but he's somebody that I would literally put up against the top of the guys. If he ever had that opportunity to run with all those guys like he is going down to California for the Rocky Hill, it's just the way it is. I mean, he's that good. He understands the cars, he understands motors, he understands chassis, understands the track. I hope that somebody will jump on board and give him a couple bucks to help him get down there.
I love that he thinks I know so much about it.
I think he got you confused with Joel, but hey, what? It's all good.
Well, and this is the thing, too, is I'm sitting here, and this is like the second time I've talked to Warren. And I'm just now realizing this. And I'm not pulling your leg here. The last time I talked to Warren was in the pits at Willamette Speedway, and I told him, he came up to us and he goes, What happened? Why'd the car pull off the track? And I'm like, I don't know. Give me a minute. What happened? He starts walking over to the driver. And this is one of those drivers you just don't do that to. And I'm literally standing there at the rear quarter panel between Warren and the driver's wife and the driver, which was not enough people. And I just turned to Warren and I go, Warren,
not now.
Walk away.
Right.
This is one you walk away from. And he looked at me and goes, well, we're just trying to let the fans know. And I go, walk away. Trust me, bro.
And I did. I turned around and walked away.
I know what you're talking about, too. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, I had a cool conversation earlier today. Do you remember Brody Pompey? We had him on the show.
Yeah.
Remember the kid out of Ohio?
Who doesn't remember Brody Pompey, the hometown hero racing UMP?
And did you hear what he did recently?
Did he get another win?
Well, you can kind of call it a win, really. Basically, what happened was he's at a show, blew his motor, and had an opportunity of a lifetime. If you look at these pictures right here, Joel, I'll show you first.
Why Joel?
Wait.
Second.
Because he knows what he's looking at.
Time out.
He knows what he's looking at.
Seriously?
Absolutely. He actually got an opportunity to drive Kyle Strickler's car in a field filled with stars. and the kid brought the car home without a scratch on it in 9th place.
Where did he start?
Deep.
Dead last?
Not dead last, but
Well, I mean, if he was a